So you want to know the story of New Jack putting me in the hospital? All right. So the story goes like this. It was June 14th, 2003 for IPW-Hardcore Wrestling. The event was Paybacks or Hell 2003. Paybacks or Hell was a yearly event that IPW had done. So this one was the 2003 version, and this was at the Pinellas County Expo Center. Well, I think it used to be like a Sam's Club, but they turned it into this giant expo hall for sports events and conventions and type stuff. So it was really, really cool. It was humongous. There was like 1,000+ people there that night. So the match was myself, my tag partner Havoc, and then Kubiak, who had joined our makeshift team, and we were taking on the team of Chaos and the Suicidal Tendencies, which were Dennis and Sean Allen from South Florida. And then somewhere into the match, I don't know, for whatever reason, the Allens turned on Chaos. I mean, you know, because wrestling. So this was just like a couple minutes until, like, we're sitting there beating the hell out of the Allens, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what, we like you guys because wrestling. So then we're just beating down Chaos, and all of a sudden, boom, New Jack's music hits, and out comes New Jack. Right, so New Jack hits the ring, starts just going off on myself and Havoc and Kubiak, and then at one point grabs me, shoots me off, in clothesline, and the lights go out. Not to the building, but to me. I'm out. Side note, I do this weird thing whenever I get knocked out. It's happened several times, unfortunately. But like my legs kind of like go crossed, and then I get like these crab fingers. Like I'm laying there and I'll just do like this. I don't know why, but it's been documented several times on tape, and apparently that's what happens when I get knocked out. So I did crab fingers. And you can kind of see in the video, New Jack kind of like looks down at me and is just like, oh, he's done. And then tries to move on. But even though the lights were out, nobody was home, my body decided it wanted to get back into it and started trying to fight again. So New Jack was like, all right, kids, all right. So we start brawling outside, New Jack and myself. And then from there we were brawling outside the ring, and we went outside of, like, into the crowd area. And actually we went behind the crowd, because the way that there was a hard cam, and then there was the ring, you know, and crowd, and then there was another black curtain. And behind that black curtain was the U-Haul truck where we actually brought in the ring for the show. So it was like one of those humongous 24-foot U-Haul trucks, but you couldn't really see it behind the draping. So New Jack and myself end up on top of this truck. And then there was a stop sign on top of the U-Haul, because that's where you put a stop sign. So we get up there, we're brawling, New Jack grabs the stop sign, boom. Keep in mind, I'm already knocked out from the first time, so this is probably my second concussion of the match. Boom, I'm still out. I'm surprised it didn't actually wake me up. So, and then there's, I really wish, like, we have like a version of this match on video, but there's another version of this match that I've seen, and it was how I actually kind of recollected the evening, because again, I don't remember anything from the close. Actually, I don't remember anything from that day. Like, I don't remember getting dressed, anything. So I had to watch matches. I had to watch the match in order to figure out what was going on. But it was really funny. I mean, not really funny, but it's kind of funny. So I had long hair at the time. So I get hit with the stop sign, boom, and I start making my way over to the edge of the U-Haul truck. Super dumb. So, but on the other side of the curtain, so again, it was, so pretend this is the ring area, and then we're up on the, on the other side of this, on top of the U-Haul truck. Well, right where, let's say I am, there were tables, 2 tables stacked on top of each other that had our IPW-Hardcore Wrestling on channel 44 banner, like our to advertise for us being on the television. So I get hit. I walk over to the edge. I look down, see where the tables are, flip my hair back. Yep, I can see it. And I immediately just start to I basically threw myself at these tables. So New Jack is up there. He's supposed to throw me, but I'm already going. So he basically just like reaches, lunges for me, and does the motion. So I don't even know if he actually touched me to throw me off the top of this, because I saw it. I was like, yep, that's where I'm supposed to go. And took out these 2 tables. From what I heard from several people is that these tables did not break my fall at all. That basically, when I hit, they basically went down and just exploded, and I just went straight down onto the concrete at that point. And then I think New Jack came down. I only know this because of the video. He came down. They ended up finishing the match. I really don't know who won or lost. I assume that if you kill the person you're wrestling, you win. So I think I ended up being on the losing end of that. Also, that's like 4-on-3. So how is that even fair? So I woke up. I did wake up in my room, in my house. Having been to the hospital, I didn't know that I was at the hospital. The only reason I knew that I was at the hospital was because I had the hospital bracelet on my wrist. I had family trying to, I basically woke up like in mid-conversation on the phone, if I remember correctly, and I had family there, and they're trying to tell me all the events that happened, and they're like, yeah, you went off a U-Haul, you went through 2 tables, and I'm like, I would never do that. They're like, you did. I was like, that doesn't sound like me. And they're like, no, but you did. And then I was like, maybe I did. Yeah, I woke up. So New Jack literally knocked me into the next day. So yeah, that's the story. Got knocked out and sent to the hospital by New Jack. But there's always a story behind a story. And this is that story. Is that after the match, when we were in the back, New Jack actually had me, like, I'm not going to say cradled, but he had me, like, he was sitting down with me and was taking bottled water and pouring that into my mouth and on my face and stuff, making sure that I was okay. So that way, he was basically just making sure I wasn't dead, that I wasn't going to die, that I was going to be okay, that I was going to come through. So he was sitting there talking to me, making me drink water and stuff while they called either the ambulance or whatever. Somebody came and looked at me before taking me to the hospital. So, and then I think I saw New Jack. I saw him, like, I think it was the following week, because where I ran the Florida WrestlePlex, the day-to-days there, due to the owner being in Tampa, the WrestlePlex being in St. Pete's, and I lived approximately 5 blocks from the WrestlePlex. So I ran a lot of the day-to-days that were actually there. So, and New Jack actually came down to the WrestlePlex to work out and train and bump and stuff like that, and work with some of our students and stuff. He loved doing that. So he saw me, he looked at me, and he said, "Are you done faking it yet?" And then went on his way. So I have seen New Jack since. I haven't really talked about it. But yeah, so that's the story behind the story. And I'm sorry if I ruined the illusion of New Jack being this felonious, murdering, street fight guy with no heart, but he actually does have a heart. He actually made sure that I got through that night, that I had fluids, that I was going to make it that night, and then joked around with me the following week. So hopefully I haven't ruined that image of New Jack seen on Dark Side of the Ring. If I have, then let me just go ahead and reiterate. Knocks me out with a clothesline, second concussion with a stop sign, threw me off a U-Haul through 2 tables, and knocked me into the next day, literally. So if that's the story you want, that's the one you're going to get. But I don't know. I kind of like my story where, the guy has a heart. So what do you think?